This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform helping you succeed online. Hey everyone, Grant here. Welcome back to the channel. And in this camera comparison, I've got a couple of the best smartphone camera systems out on the market today. We've got the Vivo X300 Ultra up against the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. And since they are both in my hands, the video footage that you're seeing right now is obviously not coming from either of them. This is my actual camera. It's a Panasonic Lumix G7, so not even a new one, probably about over 10 years old right now. But I want to give you a reference video so you can see what the quality looks like here in this particular setting from an actual camera. And you can compare that to the footage that you're about to see from each of these two smartphone cameras. And this is now a video from the Vivo X300 Ultra and the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. This is being shot in log video at 4K 60 frames per second, and it has been color graded by the time you're seeing it. As far as the camera hardware that they're both working with, I'm going to look off to the side because I didn't want to memorize the specs. But they both have large main sensors, with the Vivo working with a 200 megapixel 1/1.2 inch main sensor at a slightly tighter 35mm focal length, while the Xiaomi is working with a slightly larger 1-inch main type sensor at 50 megapixels, and it's got a wider focal length at 23mm. They both have a very large 200 megapixel periscope telephoto lens at 1/1.4 inches, although the Vivo's a fixed focal length at 85mm, while the Xiaomi has a variable variable focal length at 75 to 100mm. And they both have 50 megapixel ultra wide cameras, although the Vivo's much larger sensor at 1/1.28 inches, which is pretty much the largest or one of the largest ultra wide cameras on a smartphone, so it should do very well in low light and much better than the Xiaomi's standard 50 megapixel 1/2.76 inch size sensor for its ultra wide camera there. And they're both working with 50 megapixel selfie cameras at about the same sensor size. The Vivo's 1/2.76 inches and the Xiaomi is 1/2.7 inches. And this is now a video from the standard video mode on the Vivo X300 Ultra and the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. And I did this camera comparison while on a trip to Hawaii, but I only got daytime footage, so you're only going to see photos and videos in good lighting conditions. I will follow up with a video showcasing the low light camera capabilities of both these phones. This is now portrait video on the Vivo X300 Ultra and movie mode on the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. So you should be seeing this artificial background blur effect on each. And so like I always do, I'm going to show you a bunch of photos and videos, this time only in good lighting conditions, because again, this was only a daytime test. I will follow up with a low light test, but go ahead and take a look at all the photos and videos and let me know what you think. However, just a quick break from the video to remind you that having a personal or business website is a great way to organize and centralize your online content and activity, from news posts to blog posts to social media activity to any content that you produce like photos or videos. So if that sounds good to you, then today's sponsor, Squarespace, definitely has you covered. Simply sign up for a free trial, then use their Blueprint AI website builder to put together your website in minutes, or select from their library of templates to get started. It's easy to pull in content from YouTube, Instagram, other social sites, and even your own photos and videos. Quickly add your social media links to quickly display them on your site as well. It's also easy to add and customize an online form for people and brands to easily reach out and contact you. And when you're ready to publish your website, go to squarespace.com/grantlikestech for 10% off your first website or domain. I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video, which helps me bring you more content like this. So let's go ahead and get back to the video.
Downtown, I got that heat, let's go.
Everyone, so here's a video test of the rear cameras of the Vivo X300 Ultra and the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. This is being shot at 4K 60 frames per second, and we are starting out with the ultra wide angle cameras on each. And so I'm here in Honolulu, Hawaii. This is Magic Island. You're looking at Ala Moana Kaka'ako area. And again, these are the ultra wide angle cameras. And so we'll switch into the main camera. So 35mm main camera here on the Vivo, and now on the Xiaomi. So you can see the Vivo has the tighter crop on its main camera. I'll just do the same thing, pan around back and forth so you get a side-by-side view of how these main cameras compare. It's a tad bit overcast. Some sun is peeking through. So this might be good, not too much really bright sun for these cameras to handle. And we can actually move into the telephoto cameras now on the Vivo. Right there, and now on the Xiaomi. 3.7x on the Vivo, 3.2x here on the Xiaomi. And of course, Xiaomi has that variable aperture out to 4.3 equivalent on its telephoto right there. So you can see how that compares. I'll just pan around so you can see how these telephoto cameras look in this particular scene and this particular lighting. And we can test the long range zoom here. And we can move all the way up into a 30x zoom here on the Xiaomi. And we should be able to do the same thing here on the Vivo. So both 30x right there. Both fairly steady. I'll just go ahead and try to pan it a little bit without hopefully getting you too sick. But that's the quality of the max zoom on each. And we'll back them both out on the Xiaomi and on the Vivo. And I'll just go ahead and try to walk around a little bit to try to test the stabilization out. We'll pan this way. So there you go. Some of the differences here in the video reproduction on the Vivo X300 Ultra and the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. Let me know what you think about this footage here. Hey everyone, so we're back in the same scene, this time with log video, and we're still at 4K 60 frames per second. So you can shoot log video on both these phones at 4K 60. And the Xiaomi's in Pro mode because that's the only place I can see where you can enable log video, but you guys will probably correct me if I'm wrong, like you normally do. The Vivo can't shoot log in its normal camera mode, so I'm on the ultra wide angle lens on the Vivo, standard lens here on the Xiaomi because of that, and so I'll move into the main camera on the Vivo. So there you go, main camera here now on the Vivo. And we can go ahead and do a little bit of a zoom test here. And since it's on the main lens on the Vivo, on the Xiaomi, all you've got is zoom on that lens, and that's up to a 6x. And of course on the Vivo, because it's in the main camera mode, I can go into the telephoto camera here, and I can stretch it all the way back out to its max zoom if I wanted to. This time it's going to be at 20x in log video, right there. And so we'll back both these out on the Vivo, and we'll bring this back on the Xiaomi. And so there you go. I'll just walk around. You can see the stabilization, but just want to show you the color differences here with log video that's been color corrected and color graded versus what you just saw in the full auto. So let me know what you think about the footage here. Everyone, so we're back with the rear cameras, this time with portrait video turned on each. It's actually movie mode on the Xiaomi. For some reason in front-facing video you can switch and turn on the portrait effect in normal video mode, but on the rear cameras you got to use movie mode, at least from what I can see. They're both on the 1x lenses, and so this is a 35mm crop on the main lens on the Vivo. That's just how they do their main cameras, so it's going to be a much tighter crop, as you can see, than on the Vivo. If you're going to do this with the rear cameras, you're probably going to want to use the ultra wide angle camera on the Vivo just to make it easier on vlogging. But again, you can see the background is Kaka'ako / Ala Moana area here in Honolulu. I'm just panning around to give you a sense of how these cameras look in some of the semi-changing lighting conditions. Again, slightly overcast today, but you can also see how this background effect holds up. They are both set at an aperture of f/2.8, which is adjustable to be as much or less blur as you want. And I'll just walk so I can see the stabilization as well as how this effect holds up with some movement. So let me know what you think about this portrait video effect here and movie mode here on the rear camera of the Xiaomi 17 Ultra and Vivo X300 Ultra. So here's a video test of the front-facing cameras on the Vivo X300 Ultra and Xiaomi 17 Ultra. This is being shot at 4K 60 frames per second, and the Vivo has its audio setting on outdoor scenery or outdoor setting for audio. So you've been hearing the standard audio through the rear-facing footage. So this is now with it on its audio setting of outdoor on the Vivo, and the Xiaomi has AI audio on, so you can hear the differences between some of the noise reduction features here on these phones. And I'm still in Honolulu, Hawaii. This is behind me is the Kaka'ako Ala Moana area. I'm on Magic Island right now. So I'll just go ahead and try to pan around to give you a view of the 360 scenery and also how everything changes as the lighting conditions change, the video quality and the exposure and everything else. It is not too sunny, it's a bit overcast, so that's probably good for the cameras. It's not gonna have too much of a challenging light here today. You can see all the way back around, and I'll just go ahead and start walking so we can test the stabilization and show you what that looks like here side by side. And of course, this might be a little bit more bumpy because this is not even ground, as you can see, outdoors in the park. But let me know what you think about the front-facing camera footage here on the Vivo X300 Ultra and the Xiaomi 17 Ultra. So we're back with the front-facing cameras, this time with portrait video turned on each. And this is set to an f-stop of f over 2.8 on both, and they're fully adjustable, so you can make this more or less blurry as you want. And so the Vivo can still shoot in 4K 60 frames per second in portrait video, which is nice. The Vivo will switch back down to 1080p 30 frames per second. And so same scenery. I'll go ahead and keep panning around like I did last time so you can see how this background effect holds up and what the picture quality looks like as the lighting conditions change, with it more off my right. Again, still slightly overcast. The sun might be peeking out just a tad bit more this time. And we'll go all the way back around. And then we'll just go ahead and walk so I can show you the stabilization side by side, as well as how this background effect holds up with some movement. Again, uneven ground, so it might be a little bit more unstable than usual, but let me know what you think about portrait video here on the front-facing cameras on the Vivo X300 Ultra and the Xiaomi 17 Ultra.